Let's get ready to rumble!
Hello there, and a very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us here on the FootGolf Association of England podcast. I'm Rob Lamarr, looking after you. I have guests galore joining me tonight in the shape of Dan James, Max Baker, and the incredible Stephen Bastin. There's a lot of Stephen Bastin we'll be seeing through the show. I've also, thankfully, got the president of the FootGolf Association of England with me here, as always. So please, welcome to the show. It's Paul Boulton. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Good evening, Rob. How are you?
I'm very well, indeed. I've been looking forward to this for the last week or so. So we'll be going, right, when we're doing the next one, we've got this one planned.
Yeah.
I know we were going to do it at the weekend, but obviously circumstances and everything's changed. But here we are. With July's podcast, obviously this one, and
it's been a busy month since the last one. There's a lot been going on, a lot of competitions, a lot of news. Just to run through, I know we'll talk in depth with Steve, Max, and Dan regarding the past competitions, but this weekend coming, we have our first category A event, which is a FIFG 250. It's our first 250 of the season. We have just closed registration 1 hour ago. We confirm now 83 players will play this weekend, which is a fantastic effort. I think that's a really good.
That's good. Weather's supposed to be good as well. So
the weather's looking good. Players include. We actually welcome Matty Peroni to.
Oh, he's coming over.
Well. Matty's over. Matty will be in the pairs event with Ben Clark as well. So. A strong field this weekend. I think to win anything this weekend, you've earned your money. I think that you've definitely earned your money.
That's Forest Hill, isn't it?
Is what? Sorry,
Forest Hill.
Forest Hill,
yes,
and Leicester.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Forest Hill's a fantastic venue for anyone who's not been there. We are back there again in 5 weeks for the Midlands Open. So a fantastic course. If you missed it this time, sign up for the next one. It's not far away. Obviously on the horizon, we've got the big one. The English Open's not too far away now, 3 or 4 weeks.
That's it.
You'll be there.
Less than a month away.
We have a little surprise for everyone, don't we, regarding media?
We do indeed. We'll we may bring that up towards the end of the podcast.
And there'll be more information come out. Something really exciting for you and for everybody. It's going to be brilliant, isn't it?
Really.
So the English Open, obviously Ashbury Manor. I don't believe there's many better foot golf courses in the world. If you're not already signed up, please get signed up. You are in for a treat with that one. That's the 22nd to the 25th of August. Ashbury Manor down in Devon. It's a fantastic place. You'll have never seen anything like it in foot golf. It's brilliant. I think that's it. The big news, though, and then one of our favourites, Rob, Club League finals.
Yes, well, obviously it was one of our. We was talking about it in the last podcast as well in the Club League and how great it's back again. But the finals, the news of where it's being held, yes.
Yes, the Club League Finals is confirmed. Obviously, the date's been released all year, the 21st and 22nd of September, and it will be held at Bastin Baker's FootGolf in Leicestershire again. Perfect venue for Club League. It's a course that promotes the newer players and giving the better players a challenge as well. Max will like it. He won there not too long ago, along with Steve. So it's a venue they know. So the club finals, there will be more info coming out thick and fast. But it will be the 21st, 22nd of September. It will be at Bastin Acres, and every club, every player in this country will qualify for it. So we're inclusive for everybody, which I think is important.
Brilliant.
And there will be
big final day.
It's always been well supported. Always 100 plus players. It's a fantastic weekend. Great camaraderie. We look forward to it. And obviously,
I can let you right now. I have booked that time off. I've booked that time off, so I'll be there.
Yeah. So there you go. We will be live, and again, we could carry on what we did at what we're doing at the English Open.
Yes,
the Club League version.
Absolutely. I think that would be a great idea. But again, not spoil too much just yet.
No.
Just yet. Well. Sorry.
No. Carry on, Rob. Carry on.
Well, I thought it might have been time to bring our guests in.
I think so.
With them, as you did sort of bring their names up about them winning as well. So let's welcome onto the podcast show. We're going to start off. We've got Dan James is going to be joining us. Here, and then we've got the man himself, Stephen Bastin, is going to be joining us as well. So let's say a big welcome to them all. Just fade that down, and then I can just do this hopefully, and everyone should appear. Oh, I'm sorry, so many buttons. Everyone's here. So I've got more buttons. I keep going. Oh, I'll add this. And there's stuff just going all over the place. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome. Great to have you all on board. Dan, your second appearance on the podcast. You'll be hosting it next.
Oh well, you never know, do you, at this rate? But it's going really well. So it's been well received by everyone I've spoken to about the podcast. So yeah, keep it up.
And we'll have to get you a hat trick ball for the third appearance, or a polo shirt. Always a fan of polo shirts. So
there's always a polo shirt available, isn't there? Hey?
That's it. Big 3 on it. Right. Well, let's kick things off. We've had obviously a recent tournament that you all did extremely well in. Max, we'll start with you. First question to you, as I've been told that I have to direct most questions to you. We had a chat beforehand. So you had a win at this tournament. That's one of your first sort of big wins, isn't it?
Yes. I was really pleased. I've been working hard sort of the last year to try and have a bit of consistency. So I was pleased to get my first win.
Well, it's really good to sort of have you up on the leaderboard as well. Obviously, Steve and James, Dan, joining in. I'm so used to going Deej. It's like Dan. I'm trying to be professional.
It's easier, yeah.
I've got to say Dan.
The nice bit was, Rob, was obviously Max, Steve, they won the pairs. Max obviously won the singles part of it. Relatively new. It's great to see players kicking on. Max, we're watching Max improve week in, week out. Max is a real player. People know it around the world. He plays a lot. And Steve's coming a long way. He's come a long way in a short period. He's already played for England. So, the future's looking good, let's say.
Well, of course, that was the Four Nations, not just playing for England, but actually winning as part of the England team. How was that, Stephen? As you've obviously one of your sort of major caps that you've got there, and I know you were partnering Dan, or going around. Obviously, you were his alternate going around the course as well at the Four Nations. So how was that experience?
I mean, the whole experience was pretty special from start to finish. It was a bit of an emotional ride for me, to be honest with you. For the first day, obviously losing singles both times. Obviously going out, being first out, you kind of want to be, setting the standards and kind of doing well and stuff like that. It obviously didn't go my way, but pairing up as a sub for Deej the next day, I just felt something kind of clicked. We just kind of kept each other going, and we ended up playing really well. And in the final, obviously, got it over the line against Ali Dick against Scotland. So that was quite nice, actually, to finish it on a high. So, yeah. No, it was a great experience. Great experience.
It was so wonderful. And I know it's we're sort of looking back and talking about it. We've got the English Open coming up soon, and I expect sort of all three of you to be doing very well in that. Dan, as vice captain of the England team, are you looking to sort of maybe put that to one side and then sort of go, right, it's all about me for the English Open?
I think first and foremost, I think the venue at Ashbury is second to none. I think even when we go down there, I've actually played for Ashbury club side. When we turn up there at the leisure course, it's in great condition, and all foot golfers that come to Ashbury for the English major are gonna expect and are gonna see for themselves the standard of greenkeeping and the standard of course that's presented. I'm thoroughly looking forward to the challenge. I'm even more looking forward to the challenge after also playing the Scottish Open, the Janssen Cup, and then coming down to try and tackle Ashbury after a long couple of rounds up in Scotland and then on the Janssen Cup. But it's a big 10 days for me myself. So, I'm really looking forward to that. I've worked extremely hard to get myself in a position where I'm fit enough to try and tackle those competitions back to back. So, yeah, for me personally, my goal is to come into these tournaments in good shape and try and give the best account of myself possible.
Yeah, well, I have every faith in you. Every time we've seen you play and everything, still admire your tee shots as well. Like, Dan James coming out, he's going to absolutely blast his tee shot there.
Well, they do say though it's drive for show, putt for dough, and that's certainly something that I need to improve if I'm going to tackle the big boys going forwards. But we just keep working as hard as we can and try to improve gradually. Just like what you've seen from Max and Steve this season. I know I'd second that. Coming from the guys, just being around them and seeing the improvement that's come on, especially having paired with Steve. I've seen Max play previously from previous years, and I know that he's got so much talent, so it doesn't really surprise me. But big things to come from these two.
And Max and Stephen, obviously winning the pairs recently. Are you going to continue as a pair in tournaments to come?
Go on, Max. Go on. You love to talk.
Do I? I hope so. I feel like me and Steve play well together, as it obviously showed. But we'll see. I like playing with anyone really. But yeah, me and Steve I think we sort of work well together. We bounce quite well off each other. So I hope in future competitions we can still pair up.
Yeah, there's a good chemistry. You can see the chemistry when they're together. To be fair, you could see it that weekend at Sisonby. I think you won it. How many shots did you win by? It was a lot, weren't it? About 8 or 9 shots.
Yeah, maybe.
And that was in a relatively strong field as well. There's some good pairs in there. And you can see the chemistry, and it is great to watch it develop. To be fair, it's brilliant. Like you say, the Champions League last week, Deej wins, Max was 4th, and Steve was 2nd. So it's continuing. It's the growth
carrying it on from before and carrying it. Speaking of that, Dan, wasn't your trophy beside you?
I just put it on. just get a few heads before. Yeah, it is down by my chair. But
come on, put it in.
Come on. Yeah, it's all right. Don't feel like you have to.
A red trophy. Being all serious, though, that I've had to work incredibly hard to try and get anywhere near these. Obviously, we've seen Carl's dominance last season, and this season there has been Ant Broly has been fantastic. There has been some different winners. Carl Brown won at Gatwick. It's been quite competitive this season, and obviously for the neutrals, I'm sure that's much more enjoyable. So fortunately, this weekend just gone at Pedham, on a bespoke 9-hole course, which is the first that we'd ever seen of this new course on the academy course. I was able to come through the gauntlet, so to speak. There were some very tough holes out there, 4, 6, and 8. They could just swing your match play matches. No game was easy. No game was a gimme. And I managed to run the gauntlet. And even one point when I was down, I had Carl Brandon knock out 2 down with 3 to play. I've holding a ridiculous shot from the bottom of the hill, and the game just swings and momentum shifts again, and just shows you what match play can be like. It's brutal, and you've got to just stay switched on all the way through right to the end, because you never know what can happen. And certainly that's something I'll do, is I'll dig in and I'll fight to the end. And you're going to have to put me out. And thankfully managed to get over the line against Steve in the end. But again, I think we were both quite fatigued at the end in that final, and maybe the standard wasn't as good as it could have been from the both of us. But I was just able to get over the line, fortunately, and we could all get home to watch England lose.
Only I'd have taken an extra shot. Well, messages are all coming through we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. You mentioned, there we go. We've got Michael Eardley of Scotland telling, I'm going to smash it, Deej. What a 10 days it's going to be. Obviously, the Scottish Open, the Anson Cup as well. There we go. We've got Jojo saying, come on, lad, smash it. He's looking forward to that. And then Dave says, there we go. Disappointed not to see a shirt and tie on someone like Nathan wore on the last podcast. Thanks, Dave. He was well dressed.
Yeah,
but he was.
Well, I just want to make a special note for Nathan as well. And then Nathan put before the Pedham tournament, during the Pedham tournament, he put myself and several of the Southwest players up, and his hosting was absolutely tremendous. So just a little shout out for Nate if he's watching. Say thanks very much for all the hosting you did that weekend. Absolutely brilliant. And look forward to next time as well, mate. Cheers.
Excellent. We've got actually, I think we've got a couple of clips of some of the putts from the weekend. I think we've got Dan.
There we go. Certainly giving it a chance. And there we go. Relief on the face of Dan. Disappointment on the face of Steve. An epic battle.
Well, it didn't look like Steve was too disappointed there.
Well, Steve, you took it well.
He took it really.
You got to show face in defeat as well, haven't you?
Oh, brilliant.
There was another clip that we did had that unfortunately might get us a strike, so we chose not to use that one. The one where you've just I think you completely ignored Sean on the commentary.
I need to apologise for that one. I didn't even hear him speaking to me. I was just in a mindset of I just needed to get away and just kind of chill out for a couple of minutes. I said something out loud that I didn't even know I said. I thought I said it in my head. I was in a little zone, a little bubble, and so if you're watching, sorry Sean, didn't mean to ignore you.
But it was a great battle between you. We've had comments coming through already. Keep them coming. If you're watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, do put your comments up. If you've got any questions you want to ask the gang here on the show tonight, then go ahead and ask them, and we'll put them forward as well. Well, we might as well check out a putt from Stephen.
Plays it up and into the hole. There you go. Handshakes all round. So Steve Bastin moves on to the semi-finals.
There we go.
Maybe disqualified for.
And there you see where the actual dance came from. I wasn't sent a clip of Max at the tournament, but he did send us this one. So
Go on then.
I seem.
Love it.
You shouldn't have sent that to me.
Yeah.
But all in all, your games are improving, each one of you as well. In the respect that you sort of mentioned how Carl last year sort of ran away with it in this country, but whereas this year, and I don't think it's a case of Carl dropping. I just think everybody else has come up from
Yeah, I
sort of
agree.
how I'm seeing it and watching it, and it definitely seems that way. It seems like yourself, Stephen, Max, Dan, have just sort of looked and gone, right, I need to just focus a little bit more and really push on. And it looks like you've done it. Has it really been some? Am I just seeing that, or are you really all going, right? I've got to put a bit more. I've got to put a bit more effort into this if I want to make something from my time playing football. Proud to all of you. Go first in.
I think it's
Steve.
after last season, you get to see the level, and you know that you've got to try and raise your own bar again, and that starts as soon as the season finishes, off season, and getting out as soon as you can, really, with the weather, getting out and trying to practice and trying to improve, because again, the standard is so high. You only got to look at who's coming this weekend to play. And Matty Peroni, who's been on a tear in Europe. He's won the Swiss Open. He's won the Italian Open. Ben Clark, the best player in the world. He's at just a different level. And having him come to the events, and also having the great players that we have in this country that are improving all the time, it's great to see that the gap is starting to slowly close on these top players. And the more time you spend around them as well, and you just try to pick up little things that can sort of help bring my game on. So, it's great just having them, being around them. So, try not to put them on a pedestal, but just to be able to sort of, ask questions, being around them. FootGolf is such a great community of people, first and foremost. I haven't found any sort of negative people that are going to not be willing to sort of chat and share. I know, obviously, when it comes down to the competition, everyone wants to be competitive, but, it's in a good rivalry, and it's good to have that in FootGolf.
I agree, mate. I agree. And, I watched, I know you three are on the screen, but I watch what you're doing. Deej, I spoke to you tonight. You're in the gym, you're busting the weights, you're on the course all the time. You can see it, you get your rewards from it. You've won 2 events this year.
Yeah.
You get your rewards for hard work, and that goes for anybody. You put the work in. Max, like he said himself, he's working hard. He wants to be the best. He's going a long way towards doing it. And Steve's ticking along. That dance is just going to promote him to a superstar. That's going to be everywhere forever.
It is going to be everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But you can see it. We saw it years ago with Jason Parkinson. He grafted at being a foot golfer, and he was amazing. That Jason was brilliant. You work hard, you get your rewards.
Most definitely. And Stephen, same thing. Have you sort of, was it a conscious decision to say, right, I've got to push on?
For me, I only started playing FootGolf last year, so literally like this time last year. So I started quite late, towards the end of the season, just playing a few events. So for me, this season, I had no expectations around it whatsoever. This was just purely of me coming in, gauging where I sit in the field, just try and better each event and learn, and just find the progression, just see where I'm going to go with it. So I feel like I'm doing that. I'm learning more about myself, physically, emotionally, how I handle situations, how I'm battling through it, how I stand against players, and certain players, the stronger ones, not like stronger ones, because obviously it's strong field all through. So, but certain characters, obviously, you kind of seem to. I find myself playing not certain ways, but obviously you kind of have certain expectations around certain players. on the way through. That's what I find. So yeah, it's literally a learning curve for me for this season. That's all I'm doing. It's just learning to see where I'm at the end of the season, and then I think next season for me will be a big one. Well, I'm hoping for a big one anyway. So, you know, like you say with Deej is putting in the work behind the scenes, the gym and stuff like that. You know, I've noticed as well, even over the last couple of events, like Deej said, kind of fatigued out a little bit in the Champions League. So I'm kind of starting to already make moves behind with that, trying to push on a little bit more and yeah, just learn and just see where we go with it. And then at the end of the season, I'll just see what we can push on with for next season.
Yeah, well, it's a good way to go, isn't it? You sort of set a bar and go, right, each time, keep moving on. Max, yeah, you as well. Is it obviously? Do you find that your own game improves the more you see other people play? And do you sort of go, right, I can see how that person's striking the ball? Does it make you change the way you play?
Yeah, I think, well, over the last year, I've been looking at clips of players that I believe sort of play a similar way, looking at sort of how I can tweak my game. And as I said before, the main thing for me is consistency. I need to play. I think the more I play, the more, you know, I feel better in myself, and I can sort of get a routine that fits me. And I feel like, sort of, especially in the last 6 months, it's sort of all started to come together. And yeah, as I said, that's just what I want to do. But yeah, as I saw when I saw there was a chance of playing or getting into the Euros team, that's you know, I wanted to be a part of that, and I knew to do that I had to start playing more, practicing more, and playing on a consistent basis. And that's what I'm doing. So yeah, there's a lot of players that I'm looking at and sort of looking at how they do certain things and trying to sort of put that in my game.
Yeah, that's really good answer. It's nice to sort of, it's the way you've all got to improve. Now I've got a question, my own sort of question that I like to ask. It's now obviously the rules and everything are all set as they are with by sort of FIFG and all the FootGolf associations around the world. If there was one thing that you could do to maybe say, oh, I'd like to see this happen in FootGolf, whether it be like a rule change, something different in the way that the game is played, just a bit of fun. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a serious answer. You have to be a bit of fun with this. If there's one thing that you think that would be good if they did that, what would it be, Stephen?
A Stevie shuffle after every birdie putt.
It's a rule.
Lots of that.
Give it the
Yeah.
I can. Actually, hold on. It was if I do if I do this. Oh, are you ready? It's probably a bit like this. There we go. So that's the that's now a rule. We've got to learn that.
Yeah.
Max.
Cool. Blimey. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. One more could change.
Just or something that you would go, I'd like to do that. Maybe even if it's just a tournament, one sort of thing.
A tournament. Well, as I said before, I like to always see the game on TV. I think that's a good one. I like to see sort of that being pushed, and which I think it can be. Yeah, I like to see that, like on in the English Open or something like that. That'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Dan.
Well, I've got a lot of silly ones. I mean, we've played rounds back heeled. We do things like we play a hole back heel to the hole. Rabonnas to the hole, chip it out, running up in bunkers instead, because you're normally standing kicking bunkers, things like
We've
that.
all
Like
done that,
that would it would be chaos. I mean, we've got people. We go to some tournaments sometimes, and you see the odd person forgetting the rules and kicking out of the water and doing all sorts of weird stuff. So I think the game as it is at the moment is pretty good. There was some talk back along. I remember there was a big chat about goal kicks and being able to actually kick the ball out of hand and from the tee. I'm not really sure if that's a good idea. But again, there was talk about that. But I like the game as it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
One tournament, give it a go, I suppose.
Give it,
Good for charity. But I mean,
yeah,
as the game is at the moment, I think it's pretty good the way it is. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how it is, to be honest. I mean, you put us on the spot.
I'm going to ask Paul as he's here. Paul, is there anything? I know, obviously, you're sort of there with the rules and everything like that. But is there one thing? Here's a fun one. I'd like to try it.
A fun one. I'd like to see more top-end football clubs get involved.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah,
that'd be good.
As a one-off tournament, let's get everybody to a central location and have it off. Definitely. That would be it'll take some doing, but yeah.
That makes my one sound rubbish. I ain't going to bother. Come on. I was just going to say that you don't mark on the green. You have to leave your ball there. And if you hit that person's ball, then they have to play from where it gets moved to, not where it's. So you can end up. It's a bit like bowls. You knock the ball out of the way. You can knock it out of the way, and you play. That's just one I thought would be fun. That's what me and my friends do. We go, no marking on the green.
Oh, you chip it over the balls and all sorts.
Yeah. You have to. It's create. I mean, if you won the previous hole, you've got the advantage of going first. So then, you can put a blocker, and then they've got to play round you or hit your ball. That's the sort of
anarchy.
Absolutely. Like, they hit my ball and it dropped. Yeah, that's
just one event a season. One event a season where it's just absolute chaos. Like, the rules are crazy. Everybody turns up. Pro-am rules are all over the place. So just completely crazy. Just one season.
Well, I think just knocking on what Dan said, I think actually at the minute the game is in a really nice place.
Yeah, it is.
I think things are just ticking along quite nicely. I think it's a good place to be at the minute. I think I spoke to Sarah about it. We're really happy where it's at the minute. It's really good.
Well, it's definitely over the last couple of years, again, since the associations of England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, etc., since they all sort of split up, and each one has decided to take the game and go, right, let's absolutely grow this sport. And it has. And
I think we're on 40% growth this year player-wise. It's massive.
That's because there's more. I think you have to have. I know we're talking about getting on television and stuff like that, but I think we need like the social media aspect, how that's vastly improved. Whether it's across all platforms here, there, and everywhere, it's definitely taking a step forward. And I don't think it'll be long before the sport is picked up by one of the sports channels and go, you know what, it's time to get this on. And there's some dreadful sports that they show on television, and this is a great sport. I love it. It is a great sport. There we go. Michael Edley is looking for a partner for the English Open. Whether it's any of you three or anyone watching, get in touch with Michael. Now we've got Gary's message in. Here you go. We're talking about rules that he'd like.
I'd love that, Gav. I'd love that. That'd be
brilliant.
Let's do it.
But you know what?
Pressure would be on Gary to win that.
But you know what? It's still that every left-footed person would then go the right-footed course. Just the same if it was a because every right-footed player says a left-footed course. Always, you could talk to two people and they'll both say the opposite thing.
Yeah.
But I couldn't use my left foot. That was always for standing. Right, English Open coming up. That's obviously next month. It's the end of the month. I know that I'm going to be there. Unfortunately, I can't make the Janssen Cup, so I do wish you all the best of luck in that. But English Open, I'll definitely see all of you there. Your personal hopes for that? I know we sort of touched on the Scottish Open, and of course the Janssen Cup, building up to that. But as you know, I'm going to be sort of so fixated more on England on the other podcast. What are your hopes for the English Open around? We'll start with Dan.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I always aspire to be sort of top 10. That's always sort of my goal. So, for the English Open, with obviously players coming from abroad as well, I'll be happy with a top 10 finish for me personally, for where my game is at the moment and what I'm trying to do. I'll definitely take that.
Okay, Stephen.
I mean, this would be the first time kind of playing in an event, this sort of size with the players, the field it's going to have. Obviously, I managed to play, Ashbury for the Four Nations, so that one course Pines, I mean, unreal condition, unreal course. It's definitely going to take a while for people to adapt to it, I think. Haven't had the pleasure of playing the other course yet, but yeah, I mean, I never enter an event without the thought that I can compete. I always go into trying to compete, but again, I'm going into it with no expectations whatsoever. Again, this season for me is I'm just gauging where I'm going to be, where I'm going to sit, and stuff like that. So I'm just looking forward to the experience, and obviously hope to try and finish as high as I can. But we'll just see where we end up at the end of the day.
All right, and Dan.
My goal is to play Oakwood better than I did last time. I was 1 under par coming to hole 18 in the first round. I was playing very well, and I lost 3 shots. So over the course of 2 rounds on Oakwood, I lost 6 shots on hole 18, and it dropped me significantly down the leaderboard. And it took me a little bit of time to get over that. Paul Hawkins and Larry, 2 of my good friends, were not. Were trying to pick me up afterwards, and then I got pulled into a side room by Duffy and told I was going to be vice captain, and slightly lessened the blow, but I was feeling a bit shit because sorry to swear, but yeah, didn't feel great about Oakwood, especially the second round. I played it poorly, and didn't respect the course and got punished. So my goal for this English Open is to play the Oakwood course better, to try and continue what I've been doing on Pines, especially through through the Four Nations, where I felt I played quite well on it, and try and find a good place on the leaderboard through doing that. Really, targeting any sort of top 10 for me is just a bit too far ahead. I just want to take every hole as it comes, and try and approach them better than I have previously. And I know that if I do that, then I'm going to get opportunities, and if I can putt well, I'll be right in the mix.
Yeah, I think we saw that with Oakwood, didn't we? Oakwood was. Every shot had to be on the money, didn't it? Every single shot.
Yeah, there were birdies out there when you played very, very sensibly, and obviously with the standard of players that are coming this year, they will play the course fantastically because we're traveling around the world playing on courses like this all the time. So it's just for me as an experience last year coming and playing a course, especially the Oakwood course. You had to be on the money, you had to play sensibly. Any sort of poor shot was punished, and it wasn't just punished; it was punished with maybe double bogey. Or triple bogey in my case on hole 18 through trying to be taking too much risk off the tee. So it's just to play play that course better. And for any players that are coming across and playing, they will have a challenge across the 2 courses.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sure they will. And well, I certainly hope to see all 3 of you doing extremely well at the English Open. I want to say thank you very much for joining us here on the podcast show this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to hear your stories and what you've got planned for the upcoming tournaments. And I wish you all the very best of luck in all the tournaments coming up. And I will see you all at the English Open. Once again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Cheers, Rob. Cheers, Paul.
Cheers all.
Yeah.
Right, so there we are. Just you and me now, Paul. Thank you very much, of course, there to Dan, Stephen, and Max joining us here this evening. Now, as just before we sign off, as we mentioned the English Open, is there anything planned on the course that are there any holes
We
like
have
design? Has that been finalised?
we have a new piece of land on Oakwood. We have removed holes 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 will remain. They'll be the warm-up practice areas with holes, etc. So the first hole on Oakwood will be hole 4 round the pond, the long one up the hill.
Right.
So a very testing hole to start you round.
Yeah.
Hole 16's gone. The one over the tee boxes, that's gone. So they're the 4 holes that have gone. We've replaced them on the far side of the course. Some nice, interesting holes around there. Quite a lot of water. Some big carries. Yeah, it's a good test. It's a really good test.
Do like that. I love the when there's a challenge in as well, rather than just I mean, it's nice to have lovely big green fairways and slopes and bunkers, but when there's like the water challenge, how everybody starts seeing that fairway narrower and not getting across. It's just
I think that's what epitomised Oakwood, to be honest, is you can walk round every hole and you can pick your shot. There is a way of playing every single hole, but the margins for error was so small. We saw excellent players get chewed up, and that's top end foot golf. That's what it is, And I do believe we've got 2 of the best foot golf courses that compete with any foot golf courses in the world. I do honestly believe that, and those that are coming will see it themselves.
absolutely, all the players and everyone at home will see it as well, as the live broadcast will be coming from the English Open,
along with our special treat
and a special treat. Yes, we'll keep that quiet. So yes, there's a lot being planned for the weekend of the English Open. But Paul, once again, thank you for joining me and
thank you, Rob,
here tonight. It's been a real pleasure, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah,
there's
thank you, mate.
Mr. Boulton.
Thank you. Take care.
So Paul's gone. Just me now to say thank you for joining me here on the Football Association of England podcast show. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, and the retweets, etc., etc. I'm saying thank you now. I'm hoping that you're going to do that. Thank you very much for doing it. So in advance, I'm thanking you. This time, I'm not leaving you with any foot golf with me. No, I'm not that vain to do it 2 podcasts in a row. That's it. Once again, any information that you require, do check out the Foot Golf Association of England Facebook page or the FGAEngland.com on their website. So lots of information can be found. And of course, until then, enjoy some foot golf. And if you get the chance to go out and play, weather's going to be good. There will be live broadcast right here on the Facebook pages over this coming weekend as well. So keep an eye out for those. I do, before I go, have to leave with a little bit of that. And once again, thank you for joining us. Please do like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm Rob Lamarr,